dead stop traffic. We're moving now a couple miles an hour. So I just got to DTM Auto Body, and it looks like they got some cool stuff going on here. Looks like that's Eric's car, actually. Funny enough. But I'm gonna go inside, try to meet who I can, I think, and get these parts loaded into the van. I don't know what happened on the freeway. Once we passed all that traffic, it was gone. But yeah, I don't know who I'm supposed to be because I think the owner is on a rally today. So I just got the parts picked up from DTM Auto Body. They helped me load it in, and they had already wrapped the headlights professionally, and it's all safe and secure. But before I leave, let me show you what they got in this room that basically all their finished and cool show cars are at, and they got some pretty cool stuff. We got really sick 991 wide body. Not sure what model it is. Sick. And then they got this wide body NSX, which was at the block party the other night, and I didn't really get too close of a look at it. I know it's twin turbo, and it's exposed in the back, so that's pretty cool. We got 4 tips, downpipes, and then I'm assuming these are the waste gauge. That's pretty cool, really cool. And then we got an RWT 997, I believe. Yes. Really clean, really cool color. Pastel. Another clean 997. And then something that was tucked away that I saw before I left, and is really cool, is they have a Veyron front end up there. That's probably worth a lot of money. And then there's this purple aftervan. Interesting. And then also Eric's car is here. Man, that thing is really torn apart. Some other cool stuff that they got in their work in progress area where the Mercy was built. They got this cool Velside Fortune FD that they're working on.
Oh, sweet.
A little Tokyo Drift, you know, reminiscent of nostalgia. Wide.
Oh, wow.
Big lift.
That is nice.
991 cup car, like an actual cup car. That's cool. There's a fuel cell, carbon fiber. I wonder what this is in for. Well, I see some damage there. And then they also have this Varis wide body seat.
Oh, nice.
That's cool. I really like the Varis kit on the Supra. It's actually looks really good. Let's see if I can show you the front end real quick.
Yeah, please. Oh, yeah.
I'm assuming that's the old front bumper, which is
Oh, the Velside.
front bumper.
Damn! I called it.
And then the boys, before they had to go back to work, showed me that they have a Gen 2 MR2 that's wide body. It does not run, so I was like, maybe it's the same issue as mine, where it had an issue with the ECU or the distributor.
Good morning, good morning.
Yeah, they got some cool stuff here, and they said that they had some cooler stuff here, but a lot of it got sent out to SEMA this weekend. So they told me about they built they did the bodywork on a GR86 that has the GR Corolla drivetrain and powertrain. So not just the engine swap of the 3-cylinder turbo, but it's also all-wheel drive, which is really crazy. So I gotta check that out. So I made it back to the shop. Everything went well. Thanks to the guys over at DTM for showing me around and letting me film. But I got another mission to go on now. So now I gotta go pick up the title for Mia's 911. It is still at the dealership. It was being processed, so time to head on another faraway journey during rush hour.
Good morning.
But let's get going.
Good afternoon.
So I just finished up at J-Star. I got the title all situated. They have some pretty cool stuff in there. So I'm pretty sure you guys seen it all when Damon, Mia, and Dave were here. But they got like a Testarossa in there, a Huracan, not sure what model, and then There's a Gallardo outside. We got some cool stuff here. It was really quick. Just got the title real quick and now to go back and sit in some more traffic. Another day, another parts run / delivery / pickup or something.
Another day, another motherfucking dollar.
Valtronic exhaust tip for Damon's car because one of them got smashed, if you guys remember. So we're gonna head over to Evans and drop this off so they can basically finish up the looks of the car. And I don't think I can actually show you guys the car, but maybe I'll give you guys a little teaser. So I just dropped off the tip with Evan, and I got a good look at the 599, Damon's 599, and man, that blue looks really good, and the car is now basically all back together. They're just buffing it and installing little trim pieces and stuff, and they got some other little bits that they're planning to put on, but it already looks so good. It looks so much better than it was black or red, to be honest. Like, that color on a Ferrari looks insane. Guys, so I just came to O'Reilly's real quick to get some parts, but on the street that I turned around, there's cops, and it looks like the SWAT team is here. Hold on, I'm gonna show you guys real quick. I don't know what's going on over there, but I need to get some oil. That was a much more eventful trip than I had planned, and on my way back there was a van in a Pathfinder. I was going to come up to say hi, but we had already left, so sorry I was running stuff in and out, but I would have said hi. On this day, so yesterday, the tuner Shane and I basically went through a bunch of functions on the keypad, set things up, and now a lot of things are working. We had left a note for him on this fan that we've never seen it come on in the time of running it because the car never got over 180 degrees Fahrenheit. So it was staying cool, but only this fan was coming on. It would come on at low speed at like 150, 160-ish, and then it would ramp up high speed at like 170, and it would basically keep it around there. So yesterday, I decided to check to make sure that one was working and set up in the program, and then we just reprogrammed it so that it would come on so that we know it comes on. So basically now this one comes on the same where it's low speed at like 160-ish, and then once this hits about 170, high 170s, this one comes down and it cools down the car so fast. Like it gets from 179 to like 165 in under 10 seconds, which is insane because all we have in the system right now is actually just distilled water. We don't even have any like coolant or coolant additive like a water letter or anything in it yet because we still have to finish the turbo water lines, which the parts for the AM fittings are still not here, so I don't know what's going on with that. I know Mike ordered them, but I don't have like tracking or anything, and Mike's, I don't know if he has cell phone service, he's out of the country, so some things we set up basically are now basically things function. So the boost light, all the boost settings are set up and they light up accordingly, and it's also on the dash now right there. So hit it again, and then now on. Then also we set up the function for anti-lag. It's obviously not tuned yet because we're going to do that on the dyno, but the command is on now for the ECU, and basically all the buttons work, the lights work. Oh, this is cool. So we now have tail lights, which is cool, and then there's another feature actually with the tail lights. So I'll shut this off, and then I will hook you guys up. So Let's see this. Okay, stay. So now, every time you power the car on, it does that. And that is Morse code that Shane has set up. I'll let you guys figure out what it is before I tell you. So you guys can comment down below what it means, if you know what it is, or take guesses of what that is. So basically, we got a bunch done programming-wise, and then we also found out another issue. So basically, Shane came here, he was going to clean up the tune a bunch, and we did do some tweaks. But we basically got the cam timing to work on this side of the motor. But again, we're having issues on this side of the motor where now the timing is correct at 0. However, when we command the actual solenoids for the variable valve, the VTEC as we call, it is not working. So it's either the cam gear actuator or the actual solenoids on the oil block that pushes the oil into the cam gear, which is sounding more likely because yesterday Shane found a way to...
Introducing KFC's new original recipe tenders and comeback sauce. The feast is on.
An elegant touch for an everyday meal. Vanity Fair napkins elevate every day.
Hello, Moto.
Hello, Moto. The holidays. And holiday trips.
Manually command the solenoids on that side to come on and they would click. So then we try to do the same thing on this side and they weren't clicking. So we're about 99.5% sure that the solenoids are bad, but I'm not sure if you can just replace the solenoids on this car or if you have to buy that whole block together because it's all one piece.
Are you fucking serious?
It's looking like it's not the actual cam gears, which is good, so we don't have to take out the motor again. But yeah, so some little issues here and some parts still haven't shown up, but
that
we'll
sucks.
get this thing going and get it ready for the dyno. What else did we do? Oh, we also set up the gear position. So now it actually does have a functioning gear position. So pull back on this thing and 1. And yes, it works for every gear, including reverse. So that's really cool. We're basically still setting up, but there's still a ton to set up, but a lot of the tedious stuff has been set up, or Shane has taken note of it, and he's going to set up on his computer for when he comes to the dyno. That way we don't have to sit on the dyno for like 2 hours before we even start rolling the wheels.
You still have those, they're just small.
And then you guys
So
are
the
also
reason
seeing all this stuff out right now, and you're wondering what's going on in the shop. Are we moving out? No, we're not moving out. But Guy was asked by David and Dave, Mike and I were kind of asked a while ago, but we were just too busy. But basically, we're getting a bunch of stuff organized to basically see what we have and then list a bunch of stuff for sale. So there's going to be a ton of stuff that's going to come up, like maybe old 720 parts that will be available if you guys want to buy it. Oh, and I forgot to mention that while we were testing the valve, variable valve, trying to get it to move, Shane was also able to turn off the rev limiter to like basically hear how the car's running and how the engine's running. And he took the rev limiter off and he revved it to 7,000, which nobody has heard except for me, not even Damon, Dave, or Mike. Dude, this thing sounds super sick. I'm so sorry that we were busy yesterday and I didn't record it, but man, this thing really does sound like a V12 once it opens up. And I guess everybody will just have to wait now until it goes to the dyno. Another really cool thing working with Shane yesterday, man, I really should have filmed this, but he told me a really cool story. So before I get into the story, like the reason that we trusted Greg, the wiring guy, and Shane to help us out on this project is because they've done V12 Ferrari motors before. So before this project, Greg had wired and Shane had tuned basically the same engine family model, the F140, except they did an FF motor which got put into a wooden boat, which is crazy. I mean, it was NA, but still, like, you're putting a V12 Ferrari motor into a boat. That's wild. And then before that, they had done a twin turbo Ferrari Enzo that they used for top speed racing, which it was Bonneville, which is insane. Like, so Shane was telling me the story about that customer yesterday, and it was kind of like mind-boggling because it's like a story you don't really hear. And I
Good afternoon.
We had too much going on, so
Lena got
the
us.
guy, very affluent dude. He bought
I gotta work over
Enzo,
here.
brand new, and
We gotta upload this video. For some reason, it didn't upload
a street car,
this
which
morning.
is insane. So he was driving it from. He lives in Park City.
This phone
Utah,
can be a
and
little bit of
he worked
wonky.
in
Little
Salt Lake
wonky.
City, so he was
Let me
driving
tell
it
ya.
to and from work every day, and the car ended up having like 33,000 miles, and there was a charity event. Shane told me the name, but I cannot remember it. But there was a charity event where a bunch of people would take their cars onto this like canyon road, and there was like a stretch like that was straight in the desert once you got over the canyons, and the cops would sit there with the speed gun, and basically you would go for a top speed, and the higher your top speed, the bigger the fine, and the fine would go to charity, right? So instead of you paying like an actual fine, you pay that fine, but the money goes to charity. Really cool idea, really awesome that they're doing that. But so the reason that car got built was he ended up hitting like 203, I think Shane said, and the road was really bumpy. So the car came over like a rolling hill, and when it came up, it lifted the car up, and it like flipped and like did like the whole Le Mans thing where it basically flipped on his back, smacked down, and broke the car apart. And basically, like, the engine was laying in the desert, and like the whole Enzo was destroyed, which is insane. Like, a one of 399, I think, were made, just destroyed in the desert, which is crazy, right? So the dude went to the hospital. He had a broken neck, and he ended up wanting to. Once he got out of the hospital, he wanted to get back on the horse, which is very admirable, right? So he ended up like going to Ferrari and asking them, hey, could you repair the tub? Could you sell me parts for like body panels for an Enzo? And obviously the answer was no. So the dude went to Shane and was like, hey, I want to build this crazy car because I can't put it back to stock anymore anyways. Do you know some people? Like, I want to build this motor, I want to put body panels on it and all this. And Shane didn't believe him, so Shane was like, okay, send me the motor by X date, and then send this money, wire to me so I know you're serious. And then Shane said within a week, the money had showed up, and there was a truck backing up to his garage with the engine in it. And he was like, well, I guess I have to figure this out now. So him and Greg
Let's try this again.
The car and basically
I swear it was uploading before.
The motor was insane, so it's like titanium rods, all this stuff. So Shane decided, let's not build the motor, let's add turbos and see.
All right, it's time for some
how much
eggs.
it can handle before it breaks, because it was a really insane engine. So they end up putting turbos on it, wiring it, and lucky enough, they met another guy that had an Enzo also, but he went off to get like a one-off body made, so he had all the panels for an Enzo, which is crazy, right? So they ended up getting all the panels for an Enzo that they need, and the owner
Normally I'd be doing the Hawaiian music, but we gotta upload this video. We can't be having any hanky-panky now, can
so
we?
they were able to repair the carbon tub of the Enzo. This story is just insane. So then they repair the tub, they bolt on like a new front end, new rear end, and then Shane and Greg build the motor, put the wiring in, and then they're still using the stock transmission. And Shane was telling me that it was a pain because
that's the old like electric hydraulic transmission that like is super complicated. So it's a Motec car, but they ended up having
I'll be right back.
stock ECU to control the transmission and running a piggyback onto the Motec in order to control the engine, which is insane. So they end up finishing the car, everything's good. They go to Bonneville. It ends up breaking the record for the class. Like, I don't remember how fast he said it went. Like, it was either high 200s or low 300s miles an hour, not kilometers, miles an hour. And then he basically beat the record and retired the car. So that's freaking insane. So that's a crazy build right there. That is a hypercar before hypercars, and it got crashed and turned into a race car.
All right, well, I am back, and we actually have got the F12 timing cam adjuster issue all sorted out. So it was just the solenoids were stuck for some reason. So we went through the whole system, checked it, pinned it out back to the ECU, just confirmed that all of that was working properly, and that all looked good. So then we just basically put power and ground to the 2 pins and clicked it. And at first it was a little bit sticky, but then it freed up really quick.
Maybe like sitting over the year.
Yeah, while it was torn apart.
Or when the water, probably not when the water got into it.
And the other side was working fine.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, pretty
Maybe
odd.
just long, sitting out for so long.
Yeah, I mean, obviously everything got cleaned, so maybe this one didn't get cleaned as well, and there was still some oil in there keeping it lubricated, and the other one got cleaned really well, and it just had that little bit of like mineral deposit from the water, or whatever it was that was sticking and closed, but it's operational now. We checked it all out, we fired it up, ran it, looked at the data, and both the cams move and follow the tracking basically. So you have the command of what the ECU is telling it to do, and then you have the trace of what it's actually doing. And it's working now. So all that is good to go. So now we're moving forward with some other detailed stuff to get everything dialed in and ready for the dyno. So currently we're actually pulling off the turbo compressor housings because I want to get rid of this fitting and put the like a 90-degree fitting on here, kind of like these, but with a 90. So that way we can run the plumbing nice and tidy down. And then same thing here. So this is the kind of blow-off valve basically that's internal. So as it gets pressure and once it gets vacuum on this side, it opens it up and lets the compressor surge back out into the housing rather than dumping it out into the atmosphere. So it's all self-contained. It's really clean and tidy. But with those covers, they're plastic, and all you can put on there is a rubber hose. So we can't use the Teflon tube all the way through. So we've got these new pieces here from Full Race. So this is the same thing, it's just billet aluminum, and we've got this where it's threaded. They come with these fittings, but we're not going to use those. We're going to use the same plug-in Teflon type fitting. So we'll have those at a 90-degree coming out of there as well. And that way we can put heat shield over the entire line all the way up to the edge. Everything's going to look really clean, and also we're going to eliminate the need for the rubber hoses here and the kinks that can happen. And obviously these have to connect somehow, so it's just zip ties, not super tidy. I also ordered the heat shield sleeve that's going to go over all of these. So all of those lines that you can see right now, we'll get that black silicone covering that has a fiberglass insulation inside. So that'll help even raise the temperature, melting point.
Meet R1S. Meet room for 7. Meet 410 miles of range. Meet electric adventure. Meet Rivian.
On those lines, even more, so they should last a long time. And another thing I want to do is clock the wastegate, because these two are coming out at different angles, and that one's coming out at the same angle. So that one looks pretty good. I might also rotate them in more, so it just points in, and the hoses aren't quite as I don't know, kinked. They're not kinked, but they're just kind of pulled a little tight. So we'll just kind of do all that kind of fine-tuning stuff. Got some other heat shielding stuff, so we can put some gold foil on some of the other parts of the chassis that might get hot. Any oil lines, any water lines, basically anything that might get hot from, obviously, this insane monster. There's a lot of exhaust on this car, and it's all under the hood. So we really have to be sure that we can manage all of that heat properly. One of the things that we are going to put gold foil on is the intake, or the compressor housing outlets here, because it's pretty close to the exhaust. So we'll actually wrap some gold foil around here and create that heat barrier so that this tube doesn't get excessively hot. Obviously, the compressor housing is compressing the air, it is heating it up, and that's the whole point of an intercooler. The air gets hot from being compressed, the intercooler cools it all down, but if we can avoid any outside heat sources, any radiation of heat getting on those two, then the intake temps will already be lower, and then once it goes through the intercooler, it'll drop it back down, hopefully close to ambient temperature. That's what you hope for. It's usually 15 or 20 degrees higher, depending on airflow across the car. But the colder that the intake air temp charge is, the better the engine's going to run, the more power it's going to make, because colder air is denser air, meaning there is more oxygen in the same amount of space. So more oxygen, we can add a little more fuel and make a little more power. That's the goal here. Make a lot of power, and yeah, this thing sounds good too. So looking forward to getting this thing on the dyno real soon. We made some good progress. So we've got all these lines that look like a mess right now, but when I put them down in their position, it's gonna look pretty good. Also have the black silicone covering coming, so that's all gonna go on hopefully tomorrow. And I got the wastegates clocked in the right direction. I didn't end up putting them pointing more towards each other, because then it makes the lines really short, so I kind of like the longer line after all. Just gives it a little bit more flexibility and reduces the chance of that thing being pulled for whatever reason and yanking it out. It's very important to have those lines going to the wastegates, especially the bottom ones. The top ones, if they come off, we just won't make as much boost. But if the bottom ones come off, we'll basically make unlimited amount of boost, and well, the engine can blow up. These turbos are capable of probably making 45 pounds of boost, or maybe more. And that much boost in this engine will make a ton of power for a very short amount of time. And then we probably crack a block or something like that. So we don't want to do that. So those all look good now. We also got the turbo water lines installed. So we have the water cooling lines that run down to the bottom of the block there. You can't see it because there's so much stuff, but that goes to the bottom. And then we've got the other water lines on the side of the turbos here that are on those banjos, and those run over the side of the block on a fitting that used to go to the transmission oil cooler. So both of those water lines circulate the water through the turbos and keep the turbo center sections cooled down, because these ones are aluminum. You could get away on a car like this without running those if it was a steel center section, but we opted for the EFR, they call them super cores, so aluminum center section saves like 7 pounds per side, so I don't know, 15 pounds almost savings just running those. But obviously you have to run water. It's better to run water anyway. Turbos are going to last longer. This thing will obviously be getting very hot. We are going to tune it pretty aggressively, and we're going to have anti-lag running, which means a ton of heat in the exhaust system. So that thing's going to be shooting flames like crazy, which creates a lot of heat. So all of that to say, water cooling probably would have done anyway, whether it's aluminum housings or steel housings. I got another long list of stuff to do the car. I got my order of stuff that I needed for heat shielding. So I got some gold foil tape, basically. So I'm gonna put that on these heat shields that are gonna go on the side, basically onto the valve covers to protect the valve covers, the coils, all that wiring from the heat of the headers. So they will go in here and block all of that hot stuff from all of the stuff that we don't want to get hot. So the gold foil tape basically is a heat shield and reflector, so it bounces that heat back and away. Also, it looks pretty cool. So I'm going to install this stuff on those panels, and then I've got some of that heat shield sleeve that I'm going to put on all the rest of those hoses. I've got some gold foil tape to do any other spots that I need to. And then I got this stuff that's like a silicone wrap. So on the end of those hoses, where it's just cut, we'll wrap that around there and it creates a seal. So it's kind of like a tape, but it's like a rubber that sticks to itself. So there's no adhesive. So even if it gets hot, it's not going to come apart and come off. Like if you wrapped it with something else, any other kind of tape, electrical tape, whatever it might be, it would last for a day and then it would just fall apart. So I'm going to start doing that, and then I can kind of clean up all of the wastegate tubing and blow-off valve tubing in the front here. So, like I said, all of these are going to get covers. So it's going to be kind of stealthy too. It'll be all black, and I think it's going to look good.
That tubing looks crazy.
So I'm going to work on that. That looks so much better. Nice and tidy. Everything is routed how I want it. I also put some stainless steel kind of like zip ties here, and cut the ends down. Obviously that leaves a sharp edge, so I folded them over and put some heat shrink on there so you don't cut your hand when you're working on it. But
I love you.
Good. I also got
I gotta get my eggs.
the heat shield all covered in gold foil, so those are ready to go on. I'm not going to put those on yet because when we first get on the dyno, I want to check some stuff. We might pull some spark plugs and just check to make sure all the cylinders look even. That's just an easy way to see if a cylinder's running a little rich or a little lean. Also, we need to move the oxygen sensors from where they are now because they're in the collector, which is before the turbos. So that means that they're going to have back pressure under boost, and that won't work. It's going to work there for some light load stuff and maybe getting into boost. And then once we get all the air fuel ratios sorted, then we'll move them into the down pipes or up pipes. And the reason being is that they don't want to see back pressure, but also if we put them in the down pipes, up pipes right now, then we would see a mixture of both sides and not get the accurate reading from the left side bank and the right side bank, because we have that X that joins both sides before it goes to the turbos. So basically turbos are getting a mix of all 12 cylinders all the time. So that's what we did to get the sound out of it, rather than trying to have those two separate banks. You'll hear like a pulse on one side and a pulse on the other side. This evens it out a ton. So basically you're hearing all 12 cylinders out of each side at the same time. So you get that more high pitch, real crisp sound. But the downside is that we have to move the oxygen sensors around, and but it's just for tuning, really. And then other than that, we probably won't have very much fuel correction with those, because if it sees that one bank is running lean, anyway, there's 12 cylinders total. Even if it's 6 cylinders on that bank, you're only gonna really see like, oh, this one cylinder might be a little lean because of a clogged injector. So it's more of a, what would you say, like a global thing. It's overall on the engine. If it's running a little lean, those sensors will pick it up and add some more fuel all the way around, and that'll keep it safe, but we'll keep that window fairly small. And we'll just have to keep an eye on everything. Check the injectors every once in a while, make sure everything is working well. Check it with a temperature, like a heat gun on the headers, on the runners, so we can see how each one is running, and pull the spark plugs and check the spark plugs to make sure they all look the same and they all look good all the way across the board. Other than that, I think I have a few more things on the list to finish up. And they're all, like I said, small stuff that I want to get done just before we go dyno. So we've got the power steering pump. We've got heat shields for the hoses. Those are all done now. We got the 2 wiring harnesses that are coming from Greg for the sides. Water catch tanks, I ordered that. Breather hoses, tighten the alternator belt. So probably tomorrow I'll have all this stuff wrapped up and this thing will be ready to hit the dyno. So I've already made the dyno appointment. We've got Shane scheduled and we got the dyno time scheduled. I am really looking forward to that. That is going to tell us so many things. Obviously, what does this thing sound like high in the revs? What does it sound like under boost, under a lot of load? I mean, then basically we're ready to hit the track. So I'm looking forward to it. I know you guys are looking forward to it too, because this thing is going to scream. This thing is wild. I mean, this is probably one of, if not the craziest full ground up build that's on the internet right now. So stay tuned, guys, for that video. That's going to be coming out probably in about a week or so, maybe a week and a half. Dyno's next week. This video, yeah, give it a week and a half, 2 weeks, and you guys are going to see it. Hit the block and shred some tires. So let's go.
Check out these deals of the week at Walgreens. Enjoy free 1-hour delivery when you spend $35.
Tis the season for Flaming Farm. Visit with Santa, Mrs. Claus, Frosty, and the Grinch. Take a trolley ride out to Reindeer Land and visit our petting zoo, plus hot drinks and yummy treats. Tickets and details at flamingfarm.yapcity.com.
Football season already and not a satellite dish in sight.
I hardly recognize the rules I grew up on. Isn't that squawky?
Oh, great.
Y'all are whining while
Thank
everyone
you,
else
Jesus.
is watching nonstop
If it
football
wasn't
on
for
the red
Jesus,
TV.
I would have
Tell me,
had
whose house is this?
fucking
I
these
think
amazing
listen,
eggs and 10,000 motherfucking dollars a day. I'm telling you,
Street football.
Jesus is the way.
Now jump and give me 20.
21.
Think of cracking as an F1 pit stop. The better and faster your pit crew, the quicker you're back in the race. So you need 40 tires in 2 seconds. Without your crew ready, you're going to be sitting there for a while. It's the same in crypto. The quicker you
This
get to
phone
the at the price you want,
sometimes
the
has a
more
mind
liquid
of
the
its
platform
own.
is considered to be. Because nobody wants to spend too much time in pit stops, right? Sign up on Kraken today and see what crypto can be.
Tanya's possessed. Let go, G! Let go! Nobody does it better than me. G and motherfucking go, G! Everybody for themselves.
Wow, this thing is sick. What's going on, everyone? We're here today at SEMA 2024. Welcome back to the channel. Usually we have a booth at SEMA, but this year with moving to the new shop and Monterey Car Week and all the builds that we have to finish, we're a little busy.
20 lovely goddesses in the house.
Alex, Arno, and I came. We're here to showcase all the cars that we have here. We have our twin turbo Aventador at the MV Forge booth with Creative Bespoke. We just finished the twin turbo STO. That just got here this morning. As you guys know, SEMA is the Specialty Equipment Market Association. So it's not just cars here, it's tools. It's for companies and businesses to come out and show the public what's new and what's new in the market, what new products they have to offer. As you guys know, I'm repping the new Gintani jerseys. You guys can get that at GintaniLA.com. So I'm gonna go ahead and walk around, showcase as much as I can, show you guys what SEMA is about from our perspective. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, subscribe, drop a comment. And if you guys came to SEMA, let us know what your favorite build was.
Probably the fucking SVJ. Good timing. It's nice. There is the man himself.
Bro, this is gonna make you keep the car. Imagine this, some LMs,
Yeah.
or some D88, all black.
Would you do gloss carbon or dry carbon black?
I want it dry carbon, yeah.
You want to give
Is it tiny? Yours?
Absolutely. You want to give us a walk around of the car?
I didn't even get to do my hair. Say hi. You look very beautiful. You look very cute. Very cute guy. You guys are the king of carbon fiber. We try. Here's our brand new McLaren Artura Air program. It incorporates our carbon fiber front splitter, direct replacement, carbon fiber hood, which is a complete replacement hood with our integrated vents. Does this come exposed too, or? Yeah, so this is actually going to come exposed. We ended up painting it for the show. Okay. Our little touch on it. So as you guys know already, the Artura comes factory with this vents. We just basically add on our pieces, look more aggressive. Yeah, it looks good. And as you can tell too with the hood, of course, having that increased airflow, downforce, all that good stuff. So everything has a purpose here. Not only does it look good, it's also functional. So this thing literally changed this whole car. Yeah, it does. A couple months ago, we kind of did the soft renderings. I was like, are we really going to do that? Yeah. Like, yeah. And I said, it's time to sell my GTR Mercedes. I'm buying one of these. You know, the kit really does change the car. Night and day. You know, the funny thing about this car is everybody sleeps on this car. Yeah. This car is an amazing car. It is. I mean, actually is a really, really fun car. I mean, it's good power. But once we do some mods to it, it's going to be pretty quick. So it's a great car. I think people are sleeping on this car. Am I sniffing a Gintani touch coming? Yes. That's why we got it. So.
Very soon.
Or what? Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Chassis mounted wing, so basically we go ahead and make the incision here. Direct mount onto the chassis, beautiful sand carbon here finish. We could do the glossy or satin over here. Personally, I think I'm more liking the sand carbon nowadays. Yeah, it looks really good. Then we have our diffuser, super aggressive part, and this is our factory replacement in carbon too as well. So basically we can go ahead and change out the factory McLaren Artura part 2 carbon. So we did that program. As a McLaren enthusiast, if you want to go ahead and do so, you can. Just to, switch it on carbon. This is the king. This is the king. Lastly, our brand new magnesium wheels. So using the factory tire setup that comes with the Artura, 14 pounds per wheel.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. So some crazy stuff coming in on the wheel side. And then of course we have our front canards on the McLaren Artura. Here we have our complete replacement carbon front lip. And then we have our complete replacement carbon fiber hood with integrated vents. And then our canards. Basically at Vorsteiner, not only do we try to maximize having the best looking aeroprogram, but having also functionality. So with the vents here, you're basically increasing the airflow. Our system basically takes off the OEM less aggressive vents, and we add in our more aggressive vents. So complete replacement OEM mounting points. Moving into our side intakes, of course, capturing in more air for increased airflow. Touching into our below side skirts here using factory mounting points. My favorite part, which is the chassis mounted rear wing, completely changed the look. Of course, increasing downforce and functionality. And you guys let me know what you think on this end, but this is definitely my favorite part of the whole aero program. So lastly, we have our rear diffuser, which mounts onto the factory mounting point. So once again, basically part of our designs try to maximize using OEM mounting points. Increased airflow, downforce, functionality is used. So that basically explains our aero program for the McLaren Artura. Have our diffuser, chassis mounted rear wing, side skirts, front splitter, and our side intakes, finishing off with our front canards. So let me know what you guys think. I think we killed it on this one. Happy to hear you guys' thoughts and go from there. Cheers. Showing our beautiful brand new magnesium forged wheels. These are beautiful. The color too. Really excited about that too. I kind of took reference from the OEM GT3 RS look. I'm sure you guys know about that one. So trying to mimic that look, I think it really accentuated the build here. And let me know what you guys think about that one. First one is a white wheel too. Yep. What size is it? 18 like 12 is it? For the gun that she has, it would be nice. Wow. Yeah. Weighs nothing. You can lift it with one hand. Wow. That's pretty cool bath. Doing some of his business meetings. We're going to walk around, check out some of the cars here at SEMA. One of the coolest projects that I saw was this twin turbo Procon swap Miata. Check this out. Check out the C36. This is from Luke and Toyota, the Tacoma TRD Search Edition with what looks like a removable top. This thing is really sick. As you guys know, we don't have a booth this year, but we have a couple of cars on display, like our twin turbo Aventador, and we have Ryan here from Trader Bespoke. He's going to go ahead and show us their booth, show us the cars that they've done this year. So I'll get it on to you.
Yes, sir. So we're going to start with this twin turbo Aventador. Obviously, we did it in collaboration with Gameton. From basically the full back end on the motorworks and everything was actually in collaboration with Alex himself. They came down to the shop to help us put this twin turbo kit in. We did the interchiller system, the complete intercoolers, the intake, all custom made in-house by Gintani, along with the full exhaust system, downpipes, etc. The team at Creative Bespoke, we obviously went crazy. Look at the carbon fiber obviously we haven't touched, and we have something coming for that very, very soon. Along with that, we did a full custom interior, got Alex's gauge locked up right there in front of the vent, so he's ready to meet boost pressures as this thing's whipping on down the street. Then we got the next one coming down, we got the Ferrari 296. This one we did in collaboration with Deep Dynamics on the body kit, all designed in-house. So what we did on this one was basically a soft kit where it's a narrow body where we keep just accessories on the diffuser, side skirts, hood, fender, and accessories on the front bumper. Along with that, we made a fully functional wing to go with the air brake. You know, this kit done by Creative Beast Club teamed up with Deep Dynamics. The whole design is done in-house. The full carbon kit is a soft, narrow body. Now we move over to this beautiful ink throw. The boys in the shop went crazy getting this kit absolutely done. The fit on it was kind of off when we first got it, but that's why they can be professionals. We got this kit fully rendered and fitted up to this kit to fit absolutely proper to the car. We got it OEM style mounted. Everything is flush mounted. As you can see, with proper fitment all the way down the quarters, the extensions, the cuts, and everything we did to make these wheels properly fit, man. It's got proper clearance, full U-turn capabilities on a wide body. Yeah, so with this Zecoi body kit we put on this A12, it's absolutely flush fit. And then along with it, we did a full custom interior on it. As you can see, it matches the gear we did on the Aventador. But we did a full custom dash. We did the whole change on the seats.
Good afternoon.
And the stitchings have been completely changed. We did double stitching across the edge. We did Italian flag down the center. Complete custom center console, dash, steering wheel, everything was changed, right? So we went through this whole vehicle front to back. Now we'll go over to this Revolto. But this one's absolutely insane. It's the first modded Revolto in the United States. We did the dynamic body. It's not a wide body, but it is a carbon accessory kit for side skirts, front rib, custom hood, and custom rear hatch with some additional lighting that we're going to show you in just a second. But we did no custom interior on it. We did lower the suspension, put it on L13s, and then we worked on the other side just to debut our guys' wheels. So now that we got this kit developed for the Revolto, I kind of want to hear what is Vince only having planned for the kit, and then going with this vehicle on the Revolto.
So as you guys know, we offer a ton for the Revolto now. We have our full F1 package, our X-Pipe, our custom downpipes as well, anything all heat wrap. Obviously, we can't tune these cars yet because the ECU is locked. And Ryan asked me if we were able to tune them out. Not yet, but we have our own OBD tour, which is a little bit of an update from the system that we have advertised. Basically, we fill all the codes, no issues at all. We also do a down 3 module, so we're going to have no issues at all. Our Revolto kit is now ready to go. 15-week lead time at the moment, but as you guys know, we're busy. I know these guys are busy as well. So lead times are increasing, and I recommend ordering something tonight. We also brought out the sick 720S and an F40. Sick stuff on display.
Cook like a Bosch, with ovens featuring air fry for crispy results every time from Bosch.
For low prices, for fast shipping, for holidays with pets, there's Chewy.
Come in at Sarah now for your year-end purchases. Business owners and contractors, make your Section 179 purchases right now and don't miss out. Sarah is your destination for new Ford work trucks that are ready to go on the spot. If you need it, Sarah has it.
This is pretty neat. Koenigsegg Regera. This is definitely a car that we need to do an exhaust on. So if anyone watching has a Koenigsegg Regera, hit us up. So I actually have a BRZ, and this is pretty sick because it's a Rally Edition GR86, all souped up by Toyota. This would be fun. It's like a cheap version of a Dakar. I don't even know if you could compare it to one, but this is pretty sick. It would be so fun to run around some dirt roads.
What's going on, guys? My name is Bailey. I'm one of the technicians here at Gintani, and we have a 2021 Bentley Bentayga behind me, and we're doing some suspension adjustments and lowering it to the floor. So we are measuring fender and wheel right now, trying to get a nice gap, trying to see where I'm at. Pretty much right in 29 and a half. Already lowered it quite a bit. Perfect on this side, making sure it's square. On this one right here, I might need to do a turn or so. This does have adjustable links on it, so super easy to make adjustments, but it's a lot of, you know, lifting, going back under, lowering it, trying to get it absolutely perfect. So far, we're looking pretty good, right at about 29 and a half.
So what do you think of this car?
I think it's fancy, a little too fancy for me, but it's cool vehicle.
And we're getting some wheels for this car too.
Ooh, we are?
Yeah, BBS LMs, of course.
Damn. We're under a Lamborghini Aventador S. I thought it was an SV and it is an S. And I'm staring at a super light clutch that is absolutely beautiful. How pretty is that? This is a twin turbski vehicle with no
Twin
oil.
turbski.
Looking good.
Who's this? Oh, it's Ricky Martin.
Viva la loca!
Where are you guys going to lunch? Amici's? Why? Let's go somewhere else. I'll take you guys to lunch.
Oh damn, is he taking you out to lunch?
I'll treat you guys to lunch. I'll treat you guys to lunch. You already ordered it? Yeah. Whack, get out of here, bro. What? Idiot. You paid $50 for pizza?
Your boss is about to treat you to lunch.
And now you're eating some pizza. Just cancel it. Oh, they're taking you wherever you want. You got Amici's with them?
You're whack. You want to eat Amici's?
No, I don't want Amici's.
And it's good. When it gets hard, you pull it out. When it gets hard and black, that's what let's get pizza.
Damn, do you feel left out? They're all getting pizza.
Them. And go eat something else. Let's go eat something else and do a little video of our new daily driver.